In this video, we will be talking about how Jonah Mitchell could be the New York Ripper. What if one of Dexter Morgan's past mistakes came back, but not just to haunt him, but to terrorize an entire city? Imagine a killer born from the trauma of one of the most sadistic murderers in Dexter's history, the Trinity Killer. In a place bigger than Miami, the son of Arthur Mitchell may have become the New York Ripper in Dexter Ressurection, after being spared by Dexter himself. Jonah Mitchell, first appearing in Dexter Season 4 as a seemingly innocent teenager son of Arthur Mitchell, also known as the Trinity Killer. By the end of the season, Jonah's life was shattered. His mother was murdered by his own father. His sister Rebecca was gone too. Jonah was left with nothing but grief and rage. When we see him again in Season 6's episode, Nebraska, Jonah has reinvented himself, but not for the better. He's living in Nebraska, working at a hardware store. He calls Dexter for help, claiming his mother's death was a suicide. But Dexter quickly sees the truth. Jonah murdered Arthur's wife, his own mother, in a fit for rage after years of abuse. Dexter initially plans to kill Jonah, but after seeing his guilt, his brokenness, and resemblance to a younger version of himself, Dexter spares him. A decision that may have unleashed something darker. Let's talk about the weapon. In Prader's collection, it shows shots of a hook-like weapon, which is better known to be given by the New York Ripper. In the Nebraska episode, Jonah attacks Dexter with a sharp metal hook, which is a part of Prader's collection. The hook is never destroyed. In fact, the scene shows Jonah gripping it tightly with pure rage in his eyes before Dexter disarms him. I believe this detail should not be overlooked. Jonah Mitchell is alive. If Jonah left Nebraska still holding onto his anger, that hook could have been more than just a weapon of opportunity. It could become a signature. Let's take a look at Prader. He knows every serial killer and what they are about, and he collects their trophies. How could Prader not know that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher? If he knew about Brian Moser, couldn't he have done research to find out that Dexter Morgan is related to Brian Moser? It all seems like a bad writing mistake for Prader not to recognize Dexter as the Bay Harbor Butcher. Could Prader and the New York Ripper be working together? Is Prader luring Dexter in for the New York Ripper, which is Jonah Mitchell, for him to get revenge? Now let's talk about Jonah Mitchell's MO. Here's a theory. Could the New York Ripper have his victims be men and women who remind Jonah of his parents? Manipulative, abusive, controlling? The method? All killed with a sharp, brutal hook. The same weapon Jonah once tried to kill with Dexter. This is where Jonah's psychology plays in. He isn't killing for pleasure like Trinity. He's killing out of unresolved rage. Every victim becomes a stand-in for Arthur Mitchell, a chance to strike back at the abuse he endured. But unlike most spree killers, Jonah's methodical. He stalks his victims, learns their patterns, and makes the hook his calling card. Now, if the show follows this path, the final confrontation writes itself. Dexter in the shadows of New York stalking Jonah just as Jonah stalks his own prey. The twist? Jonah might welcome it, and could be working with Prader. After years of killing, he might see Dexter as the only person worthy of ending his life, the only person who truly understands him and who spared him. So could Jonah Mitchell be the New York Ripper in Dexter Ressurection? The clues are there. His traumatic past, the hook from Nebraska, his unresolved rage, and his complete disappearance from the storyline. If Showtime wants a killer that ties directly to Dexter's past and forces him to confront his moral fallings, Jonah might be the perfect choice. What do you think? Would Jonah's return make Dexter Ressurection even darker? Or should some mistakes stay buried? Let me know in the comments. And remember, the Bay Arbor Butcher isn't the only ghost lurking in Dexter's shadow. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more Dexter theories.